Our top story. Thousands of children in our region are missing out on eye tests, which could mean permanent vision problems when they get older.
That's right. The NHS recommends children are screened at the age of 4. It seems many parents think schools will carry out the tests, but research by BBC Yorkshire has found that's not the case in some areas. Heidi Tomlinson has our top story.
If you can read the letters for me there, Eve.
A sight check-up for 15-year-old Eve Thompson. She has one good eye and one lazy eye. It's a condition called amblyopia and affects around 3% of people.
Well done. Now let's have a look at the letters with your other eye.
If it's not treated early, it can lead to permanent sight loss in the weak eye. Eve was diagnosed at 7 years old.
It was just the shock of how much difference there was. Like my right eye, I can see and it's clear and everything's how it should be. But then as soon as they cover that up and everything's blurry, it's a bit like quite scary because it's like I can't see out of this eye.
Eve's vision did improve with prescription lenses, but at 7 she was reaching the cut-off point for treatment.
We had no idea that there was anything wrong with her eyes. We just, she was doing well at school. We had no idea that there was a problem at all. It made me feel like a terrible parent, really, because you want to do the best by your children and then finding out that there is a problem that could have been sorted earlier but you weren't aware of it was really hard to handle.
Children should have an eye test at around 3 years of age. Then, if a lazy eye or amblyopia is detected, the vision can still be improved using a combination of glasses and an eye patch to cover the strong eye, forcing the weak eye to work. After the age of about 7 or 8, it becomes very difficult to treat because the eyes are fully formed.
There is almost a bit of a misconception, really, that when a child starts school, the school will check their eyesight and do a thorough eye test. Well, I think this doesn't always happen in schools.
A survey by the Association of Optometrists has found that around a quarter of children have never been for an eye test, and over half of parents think their child will have a full sight test at primary school, but that's not always the case. In Kirklees, Rotherham and Bradford, children don't get tested in school. They're advised to go for a free NHS examination at the Opticians.
Well, it is a bit of a postcode lottery at the moment, with screening being available in some areas but not universally across the board. While screening is definitely useful in terms of picking up eyesight problems, it isn't quite as comprehensive as a sight test with an optometrist.
Nicola Rotherer from Bradford took her daughter for a full eye test. Chloe had a squint and a lazy eye. She was treated with a patch and an operation.
When you had your patch on, was it easy to do things or was it hard?
Hard.
Was it? Why?
Because I couldn't see out with this sight.
Now at 6, her vision's much improved.
If I would have kept her eyesight the way that it was, then the left eye wouldn't have been within the legal driving limits, so it would have restricted her in later life.
It's been a good outcome for Chloe, but amblyopia has few symptoms. Parents often don't know there's a problem until it's too late. Taking a child for a free eye test at around 3 years old is key. Heidi Tomlinson, BBC Look North.
Well, we're joined now by Moin Valli, the optometrist that we saw in Heidi's piece then. Hello there. Hello. Now, the Department for Health recommends that all children have an eye test when they start primary school. How worried are you that this isn't being kind of picked up by all of the authorities?
I think the information out there, I don't think is it's not good enough quality, really. I brought with me today a red book. This is given to all parents when you have a child, and it's like a record, tells you when to take your children to have the vaccinations and the like. Now, the information on here that is given about eye health is too vague, in my opinion. There is no clear statement in there that says that you should take your child to an optometrist for an eye test at age 3, which is what we would recommend. And there's no mention that NHS sight test is fully, the NHS fully fund children's eye examinations. Yet when you look at the dental care, it's very clear. It says clearly that you should take your children regularly to see a dentist. So I feel the information isn't quality enough. I think there's a misconception. Most parents that we speak to think that when their children start school, the school will do a thorough full eye examination. Well, they don't. They only do a vision screen.
I just wonder how parents, though, can actually understand that there is an eye problem if they don't have an eye test. Are there any things that they should look out for?
I think part of the issue is, Harry, that often children don't show any symptoms. I've got 3 young children, and I tested all their eyes this summer.
Which you would.
Which I would, of course. And my youngest is 3 years old, and she has got slightly reduced vision in both eyes because she's got astigmatism.
Yeah.
Now, she's got absolutely no symptoms at all, which I was aware of. So often there are no symptoms. Sometimes, you know, you might find that children will rub their eyes a lot, or their eyes might be wandering slightly, they might be a bit clumsy, they might lack concentration in the classroom. So those are the sorts of things that you can look out for, but it can be a little bit ambiguous.
Let's just talk about the condition that we saw in the piece then. We heard that after the age of 7 or 8 that there's not a lot that can be done. Is that true in all cases?
So amblyopia is a time-sensitive condition. If it's picked up at the age of 3 or 4, the prognosis is very good. If it's picked up at the age of 7 or 8, then the prognosis is much worse. That's not to say that, you know, the vision in the poor eye can't be improved. We have cases where, you know, through wearing glasses full time or patching the good eye, the poor eye will improve. However, in most cases, the poor eye will never be as good as the good eye, and the child probably won't have binocular vision when they grow up.
Moin, we'd like to continue this discussion. Sadly, we've run out of time, but I think the point is well made. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.